आजकल काफ़ी सारी ब्रांड्स क्लाउड किचन कॉन्सेप्ट को एक्सप्लोर कर रही हैं. व्हाट डू यू फील अबाउट दैट?
Oh well, again, you're asking me very difficult questions, right? Because wow,
Have you ever thought about?
I have a position on this, and I have a little bit of a nuanced position on this, right? Cloud kitchens seem very lucrative on paper. Now, what I mean by this is, anybody looking to start a restaurant, they feel कि यार cloud kitchen खोल लेते हैं, कितना ही
Yeah.
लगेगा, 4-5 लाख रुपए
बिल्कुल.
लगेगा, मेरा brand खुल जाएगा. What they don't see is that cloud kitchen operations are incredibly hard to crack. And again, a very strong recommendations I make to anybody wanting to enter this business is to first look at it like a business, right? You have to be able to delineate within your mind what is a passion project, how much money you're able to go into, how much money can you afford to burn on it, and have clear mental models around passion project and business. अगर बिजनेस समझ में नहीं आता, पहले बिजनेस सीख लीजिए, फिर उसके बाद बिजनेस कीजिए, राइट? बिकॉज सम पीपल overtly romanticize the idea of running a business. क्या रेस्टोरेंट खोलना, it's a passion project, it's my lifelong ambition, करना है मेरे को, ये करना है. But they end up losing a lot of money, they feel disheartened, and then maybe they're not able to start a business ever again, right? So you don't want to be one of those persons. It's better to have a rudimentary understanding of how it works. Maybe work at a restaurant for 5-6 months, pick up essential business knowledge कि मॉडल कैसे बनता है, किस प्रकार से हम फाइनेंस करेंगे, बजट कहाँ कहाँ जाना है, कितना बजट है, कितना बर्न होगा. Once you have a grip on these numbers is when we should start a business. To answer your question about cloud kitchens, now let's look at it this way. On an average, we're sitting in 2024. If you are a new brand and you approach Zomato or Swiggy or any of these aggregators, what sort of commissions would they charge? Depending on the location, anywhere from 20 to 24 to 25, even 30. Most people I know, this is a broad range. Again, I can't tell you my commissions because it's confidential data, but most people would end up signing on a 24, 25, 30. This is the broad range they offer.
Zomato?
Zomato and Swiggy,
So it
any
can
aggregators.
be different for different brands.
Yes and no. I mean, if somebody has an old contract,
Okay.
right?
Got it.
They've been doing it for a while. Zomato again revises contracts every year, right? So I'm assuming that some people would have contracts which are very, very old, decades old, and maybe they're signed on a lower commission rate. But for most people, the broad range from what I know and what I've read is going to be between 24 to 30%. But that's just commissions, right? Because you have to pay GST on top of that, and you can't take input credit on the GST. So plus 18% add on to that, right? Then once you're onboarded on Zomato or Swiggy or any of these aggregators, in any given area in NCR, there are about, I don't know, 100, 200, 300 restaurants, right? Cloud kitchens, maybe more, right? How are you going to come up on the first 10, 15, 20, even 30 restaurants that shows up on anybody's feed, right? You'll have to pay for marketing. Now, marketing is a cost, right? A cost per click is one way you can market yourself, is around anywhere from 20 to 30 rupees, maybe lower. But you're looking at broadly 15 to 20 rupees, right? Per click is when somebody clicks on your Zomato or Swiggy page. This is how most digital platforms work, right? So you have to pay them per click. If somebody clicks, what are the likelihood of them ordering? So your conversion 10, 15, 20%, right? So again, you have to pay a cost. How much will that be as a percentage? I don't know. Depends on your budget, right? But anywhere from 15 to 20 to 30, right? Then you have to pay your food cost. Then you have to pay your salaries. Then you have to pay your rental, your electricity, any other overhead that might have missed. Because this is a podcast conversation, I can only list so much. But there are so many more overheads. Your food cost will be anywhere from 20 to 30%, depending on the cuisine. So when you factor in all these costs, you can't really make money on the cloud kitchen model. I'm not saying people don't make money on the cloud kitchen model. Some people really make a lot of money on the cloud kitchen model. What we are talking about here is the likelihood of somebody doing that if they are a complete newbie into the industry, right? And again, sorry, I'm referring to another podcast, but I think Raj Shamani did a podcast with the founder of the biryani. What's the biryani brand called?
Biryani by
So Raj Shamani did a podcast with the founder of Biryani by Kilo. Great podcast. I heard it myself. He has a great perspective on this, and he says the same thing, right? Somebody who's been doing this for a while, somebody who understands the model, and somebody who's achieved the right scale, they can potentially make a lot of money on this model because it's easier. It's very easy to scale. Outlet 2, 3, 4, 5 can happen very easily. Once you have a central kitchen in, your distribution is sorted. So outlet 1 is going to be difficult, but outlet 10 is not going to be so much difficult. Plus, unlike a traditional restaurant, if you're marketing the right way, you can almost be sure that you'll get a steady order flow from day one. The problem is your unit economics. Will you be able to, if you're able to make money on one single order, then you potentially might be able to do this very successfully. But
अगर आपको ये वीडियो इन्फॉर्मेटिव लगी और ऐसी और वीडियोस देखना चाहते हैं, सो मेक श्योर टू फॉलो ट्रूफुल नेशन ऑन यूट्यूब.